What's up, YouTube? This is Ricky with the 125. Today I want to do a care guide on the Cory catfish. If you guys have been following me, which I know a lot of you guys are following me, I used to have my Cory catfish and the 125 down here. But ever since I got my new clown knife, I wasn't really sure if he would gobble them up or not. So I actually took them out and I put them over here, which you can see in a smaller gallon tank. And I only, in my 125, I only kind of keep the big boys, you know, the Oscars, the clown knives, you know, just kind of really like the big fish in the 125. But let's go ahead and get into the care guide of the Cory catfish, or you can call them Codoras fish, or some kind of way like that. Codoras fish, kind of scientific name of them, which I just call them Cory catfish. And when I call them Cory catfish, because they are technically part of the catfish family. He's a little scared of me. He's a new guy, so he's kind of running away. He's coming back. If you can kind of see him right there. He kind of looks like a small miniature catfish. They're really cool. But Cory catfish, they're very hardy fish. And I hate when I say hardy fish, because people, when I say hardy fish, people think they just can, you know, put them in a tank and just forget about them. No, you know what I mean? You still got to feed them. You still got to do water changes. You still got to do maintenance and make sure they're living, you know what I mean? So when I say hardy fish, I just mean they're just really hard to kill. Now, just because they're really hard to kill doesn't mean you want to take that necessary risk. If you want to take that necessary risk, don't get a fish. But they're very hardy fish. So if you do slack off a little bit, don't mind it, because they'll be okay. So Cory catfish are freshwater fish. So don't go out there and put them in saltwater fish. They like the good old freshwater that we drink from the faucet. They like to be, let me get closer. They like to be in a school. So I got 1, 2, 3. They like to be in school. And they like to be around each other. Now, you get one Cory catfish, that's cool, everything, but it's more fun to watch when they school. They interact, you know what I mean? It's really cool to see how they work together and how they interact together. I'd never seen a Cory catfish fight ever in my life between them. Sorry about that. But what else about a Cory catfish? Oh, so they have whiskers, kind of like a catfish. Let me see if I can. You see that? You see how he's burying his bristles right there into the ground? This is why I kind of like the Cory catfish more than, let's say, the Picosmus fish. See, the Picosmus fish just sitting here, ain't doing no work at all. And I got algae on this goddamn thing right here. Even though I love the algae, don't get me wrong. But if he was a real hard worker, that algae wouldn't be there. Okay? Just saying. The Cory catfish, when you, let's say you overfeed. Say you overfeed your fish, you're doing your fish flakes or whatever, and it all falls down. Your boy's right here, as you can see him right there, he's in the gravel. He would turn this gravel upside down. He would get in there and clean your gravel up. That's what I love. They work 24/7. They don't stop working. You know, I really like them more than the Picosmus fish. I like the Picosmus fish because he cleans, but I like it because he kind of look kind of dinosaurish, you know what I mean? But I don't know if I had a video up yet. I gotta check that video, check my videos. But I had one that was 16 inches. It was from here to here. I'm probably gonna post that. Post a picture up on YouTube. Man, he was huge, but he was making more of a mess than actually cleaning up. So these guys are really good at cleaning up your tank. Now, don't just overfeed all the time and think they're just going to clean it up all the time. No, they're little fish, so they're going to have a small stomach, but they will turn over your gravel. They will dig for all the nooks and crannies and all that good stuff. And the Cory catfish, they come in different colors. Now, I kind of have the They call them the green, but they kind of look gray Cory catfish. This one right here, he's the only different one because the other two are the same. He is a what you call it? They call him a pepper catfish or Cory catfish. I really like him. He's a little baby. If you look at these, he's a little bigger than them. Or I mean, they're a little bigger than him back there. So I was really worried about him for being so small in this large 125. So, oh, that's another thing that brings up. Cory catfish can go into the smallest tank of a 10-gallon, or it can go into the biggest tank of the 125, or even greater. But the thing about having a Cory catfish in a bigger tank is that you lose track of them. You never know where they really are unless you have multiple of them. Like you have a school of them, you can really find out where they are. But if you just have one, you really, you know, oh, did my fish get ate over here, or is he hiding over here, or whatever. So I like another reason I moved them over here is I can keep better track of them. I can keep better track of the Cory catfish when they're in a smaller environment like this one right here. So a 10-gallon is perfect, but just like other fish, the more fish you put in, the more they reproduce waste. So be careful about that. I'm trying to keep this on then because this is about them and not all the little fish. Cory catfish, they live about for 5 years. That's good, you know what I mean? I wish they were a little longer because I'm thinking, man, I want to have them for a long time, really. But I'm like, man, if you think about it, 5 years, a lot can happen in 5 years. I might not even have a fish tank in 5 years. I might be living out in the street in 5 years. I might be a millionaire in 5 years. Never know. But they live for 5 years, which is good. So you get some time. So that's really cool. Look at him. Let me see if I can get him. I got my algae on this side. Dang it, I really can't get him. But look at those. See, he's over here messing with the shrimp. Those shrimp. So that they'll eat anything. But their size, they range from 1 inch to about 2.5 inches. Now I haven't seen a 2.5 inch Cory catfish. I was like, oh my god, those things are huge. And I wanted to buy him, but I already had 3. You know what I mean? He might have been on 3 years already, so I'm like, I probably got 2 years with him. So I left him out there. But they are they 1 to 2.5 inches. They get pretty big and fat, and they have this kind of armor on them, kind of like a coat where like the fish tries to eat them. It's hard. You know what I mean? You're not just going to be sinking your teeth in some butter. You know what I mean? You're going to have to work your way to gnaw them down. So that's really kind of good. And when you have bigger fish in the tank, when you have Cory fish. I think I told you guys that there are different types of Cory. They even have like a panda Cory, and they just wanted to charge an arm and a leg for a panda Cory. And I'm like, dude, I like Corys, but I'm not going to pay that much for a Cory catfish. But anyway, they're very peaceful fish. Like I told you before, guys, I haven't seen a Cory catfish get into a fight. They don't bother other fish. They stay down to the bottom. They dig for food 24/7. That's their little life. That's all they do. I wish they would stop moving so I don't have to move the camera all day. But what else about these bad boys? I think that's about. I guess I talk about the food. Like I say, when you sprinkle food in there, they'll eat the leftovers, right? But they actually do make Cory catfish food, or Codora's food. I don't waste money on it. I really don't waste money. I bought some, and about time it got to the bottom, all my other fish ate it. You know what I mean? So they can eat pellets. I mean, they're not going to eat the whole pellet, but when it disintegrates into the gravel and all that good stuff, it makes it easier for them to eat. But they would eat the food that you feed your fish at the bottom. They're not picky eaters. Like I say, this shrimp fell to the bottom, and he's over here gnawing at it every now and then. So don't go. Well, if you want to, if you just specialize in Cory catfish and you just want Cory catfish in there, then yes, go ahead, go buy you some Cory catfish food. But if you got multiple fish like I do in the tank, Don't go waste your money on specialized food just for your Cory catfish. You have like 15 different foods that you want to feed this fish and that fish, that fish. You're just going to waste a lot of money, and you're just going to make a headache. So I feed all my fish one type of food. No, actually I feed them two types of food. I feed them the Cory pellets, and I have some flakes. I forget what the flakes are. Tetrafin. Now it had to be special. Some tetrafin right here. Flakes, tropical. So a lot of different good tropical fish can eat those, and everybody eats it. They're good. So like I said, they'll go out there and spend all that money on these different types of food for all your fish. It's not worth it. Like I said, because they're community fish, they get along with everybody. See here, I'm not sure if he's gonna do it, but yeah, he's not gonna do it. So sometimes when a Cory catfish is right here, he will shoot up all the way to the top of the tank and go back down real fast, right? Right, really fast. And that's just to like get some air, test out the parameters. Now I have known personally, because when I first began fish keeping, I didn't know you're supposed to change your water that much, so I didn't change my water, and my Cory catfish would go right down from the bottom up all the time, all day, right? I'm like, what the hell they're doing? You know what I mean? I mean, they're not, you know, mammals. They don't need air, but it was because my water didn't need to be changed. You got water, so that's a really cool thing to have them too. If your water is dirty, that will let you know by keep going up and down. Now, don't get me wrong. They're going to do it. They're going to do it every now and then. They're going to shoot up and come down. That's every now and then. But if they're constantly doing it throughout the entire days, they did it like 5 times in that one day, you're like, hey, wow, okay, I might need to test my water parameters or something, because they will let you know that, hey, we need to change some waters. I think let me go over with some stuff and make sure I hit every point. The size is probably what, inch to 2.5 inches for these guys. They come in different types, so they're gonna be looking just like this, but it's just a different color. Like I said, these are the gray ones right here, and I got a pepper one somewhere in here. Like, see, it's hard to find when you even in a small tank, but they're a peaceful fish. They can go along with almost anything. Almost anything, guys. Don't, you know, put a tiger bar in there and think he's not going to beat them up or eat them or whatever. But they live for 5 years. 5 years is a long time, guys. It is a long time. And fish years, I guess. But they're schooling fish. So make sure, that's the other color I was telling you guys about. Again, that's the pepper one. I really like the pepper one. It's kind of cool looking. You can see the difference on those two. But they are a schooling fish. So if you got enough room and you can afford it, go ahead and get you a couple, because it's really cool to see when you have multiple Corys in here, and they're all schooling together and working together to find whatever little food they can find at the bottom of your tank. What else? They're beginner fish, so they're very hardy. You don't really have to worry about them dying if you do your necessary water changes and feeding them and all that good stuff. Like I say, I would prefer them to be in a smaller tank. Smaller tank is way better than being in the bigger tank. You can keep track of them much better. Water temperature, you want to keep that around 72 and 78 degrees. Look at them, 72 and 78 degrees. The pH around 7.0, 7.35 or something like that. You know, keep that kind of up, a little high for them. We're running about 14 minutes, so I'm trying to make sure I got everything. Community fish, beginner fish, the Whisker, they're part of the catfish family. Goodness gracious. Hardy fish, they grow about 2.5 inches. Guys, I don't know more I can tell you. I really don't know more I can tell you. They're great fish.